Brad, it's so great to chat with you today. Every year when I file my taxes, I use TurboTax. Whenever I send an email campaign, I use MailChimp, and my credit score is monitored by Credit Karma. And this is relevant, of course, because all of these products are owned by Intuit. You are, of course, the former CEO of Intuit. So thanks so much for coming on today. I'm really grateful for the chance I have to talk to you.
Well, Nate, thank you for using those products. A lot of great people put a lot of energy into making them amazing, and it's a privilege to be with you today.
You've had a successful business career, not only as an exec at Intuit, but also serving as chairman of the board at Nordstrom and serving on the boards of Yahoo, SurveyMonkey, and Humana. And now you've moved back to your home state of West Virginia to serve as the president of Marshall University. As you think back on your career in business and in higher education, are there a few simple, practical, underappreciated lessons you've learned that you'd most like to pass along to others?
Yes, Nate. And first of all, it's awesome to have the opportunity to participate with you today. And I appreciate the question. And I also appreciate you walking through some of the experiences I've had the chance to be a part of in my career. But I really feel like I'm at the most important chapter of my life now. Mark Twain once said the two most important days in your life are the day that you're born and the day that you learn why. And my purpose is clear. I have the opportunity to level the playing field of opportunity through education, entrepreneurship, and capitalizing on amazing environmental assets we have here in my home state. So it's a privilege to have the chance to serve the university that invested in me so many years ago.
Yeah.
And that upbringing did help me discover some important lessons in my career that I hopefully will be helpful to the listeners of this podcast. The first thing I would share is to be a learn-it-all, not a know-it-all. If you study the number one attributes that come out of people who are successful across any domain, whether it's professional sports or it's academia or it's private industry or nonprofit, it is the individual has a high CQ, not IQ. They have a high curiosity quotient. They lead through inquiry versus advocacy. They seek to understand instead of seeking to be understood. All that falls under the umbrella of what I call be a learn-it-all, not a know-it-all. And the most important attribute of a learn-it-all is they treat failure and success the same, as an opportunity to learn. We've all heard the famous quote when Edison had failed to invent the light bulb through 10,006 attempts. And one of the newspaper reporters said, how did it feel to fail 10,006 times? And he said, I didn't fail 10,006 times. I proved 10,006 ways that it wouldn't work. So I think it's important to approach life with a beginner's mindset, being a learn-it-all versus a know-it-all. So that would be my first major lesson. The second lesson I would share is to think about volunteering for the job that no one else wants. This was a piece of advice that my dad gave me when I came out of college, and he was right. I made a career out of volunteering for the job that no one else wants, because typically those conditions are challenging. They don't have enough resources. Many times it's a turnaround. You're going to have to be innovative and scrappy. And if you can turn that around, you're going to create a brand that becomes more of the go-to person. The second part of volunteering for the job that nobody else wants is if you do that 2 or 3 times, eventually your boss is going to say, wow, he never says no. She never says no. They never say no. And next time we're going to give them a really good opportunity because they keep signing up for the tough stuff. And so eventually you're going to find yourself sitting in the C-suite of a Silicon Valley company. So volunteer for the job nobody else wants. And then my third and final tip that I will share is it doesn't matter what business you're in, what category of industry you're in, we are all in the people business. Maya Angelou said it best. In the end, people will not remember what you said. They will not remember what you did, but they will always remember how you made them feel. So ensure that you realize when you wake up every day as a leader that you are a servant leader. And your job is to remove barriers that get in the way of your team so they can do the best work of their lives. We are all in the people business.
I just love these lessons. And I've actually never heard that term, a learn it all, versus a know-it-all. And I think this is just so great, myself being in education and trying to dedicate my life to learning new things and passing this on to my kids. So this is a new phrase that I'll be incorporating with them. And this idea of just signing up for the tough job that no one wants. And it clearly worked for you. I mean, your business career is one of the most kind of impressive careers, experience at these tech companies and company like Nordstrom. And it's cool to see that philosophy helped you get where you got. And I've had a number of people on the podcast recently, and to me, it's interesting how often this idea comes back to it's all about the people. And I had Bronco Mendenhall on, football coach at University of Virginia. He talked about, it's all about the relationships that he's had, and it's not about the wins and losses. And business owners and academics all saying the same thing, that it's all about the people. I just really appreciate you sharing those lessons, and given your level of success, I think these are definitely lessons that I want to apply and hope that my students and kids can apply as well.
Well, thank you. I will tell you, those lessons were hard learned. I didn't start out day one understanding the importance of those things, but I certainly have benefited from them, and they continue to serve me well in my new role as the president of the university.
Well, it'll be fun to keep watching Marshall from a distance. I watched the Marshall football team beat Notre Dame recently, so I was happy for you there, even though I was a postdoc at Notre Dame and sad for Notre Dame. I know the demands on your time are endless, so I just really appreciate you taking a few minutes to share some thoughts with us today. So thank you, Brad.
It's been my privilege. Thank you as well.